Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody's smiling and happy. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. This video is probably 6 months in the making. I just haven't had the time to actually touch bases on the full aspect of it. Recently, I made a video about self-worth. When you're on a job site, not accepting anything less than what you're worth. Um, I want to add to that because it's not something that I take lightly. I find myself wanting to express more and more about it. And as this video progresses, you'll understand the full meaning of what I'm talking about. Unlike other videos I've done, this video won't be a rambling video. This is directly um, in relation to self worth. First, I'm going to give you a general rundown of some painful issues that took place in my life recently within the past couple of years. And that's directly related to self worth. Number one, um, the very woman that I fell in love with and cherished in my heart, she and I separated under very bitter terms. We have a little girl together. She's almost 6 years old now. And because my former, the one I'm talking about, had cheated on me, there was a lot of trust issues that were thrown away. I didn't trust her at that point. Um, in defense of her, I would say that I didn't take her opinion as serious as I should have. Um, and I didn't tell her I loved her as much as I should have. But regardless, the day she cheated on me at the Bangor um, Stillwater Avenue Walmart is the day that, let's just say, my heart was ripped out of my chest. And that trust level just never came back. Even to this very day, despite everything that this woman did to me, I still have love for her in my heart. That's never going to go away. You don't just take love and just say, oh, see you later, bye. Because we have a child together, and it's not something that you could just erase from your mind or your heart. My self-worth then, I felt like it was useless. I felt like I wasn't worth anything, that I wasn't good enough for her, that she went and cheated with the supervisor. His name was Anthony Pontius at the Stillwater Avenue Walmart in Bangor, Maine. Um, that hurt me even more because I used to drop her off at work early in the morning and come pick her up on a break and then come pick her up again after the end of her shift. And I saw him a dozen times or more, and I never pieced it together. But when I did find out from a third party, that third party was a very good friend of mine. Um, I confronted her about it, and ultimately she did, in fact, admit to it. And I thought we resolved it after we got some major arguments. And anyways, I felt like my self-worth was gone. I felt like there was nothing left in my life, that I was just simply thrown away. And Anthony Pontius, at the time she was cheating on me with him, he's a married man with children of his own. So that told me a lot about my former's intentions and trustability, worthiness, and dedication to a relationship, especially when we had a child together. So over time, we moved from Bangor up into Easton. And Easton is right beside Presque Isle, which is northern Maine, Aroostook County. Um, Unfortunately, I told her ahead of time that if we moved up there, her brother would definitely be interfering and causing a lot of shit. And she said that I was being ridiculous, that he wouldn't bother me or anybody else. And that ended up being exactly what happened. Let's just say that a lot of issues took place, and I came to Bangor and I started working for Triumph Professional Cleaning Services on the night shift as a supervisor. And it was on a Sunday morning on September 10th, uh, almost 2 years ago, where she called me up on the phone and said, Al, I don't love you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. And I tried to retaliate by telling her, I'll just come up there and take care of it myself. Because we did have a daughter together. We do have a daughter together. And I wasn't going to let anybody else interfere with that. That's wrong on every level. But what ended up happening is the words I spoken end up being considered a threat. When I said that I wouldn't let anybody else raise my daughter but her and I, and that I would take care of myself, according to the court system, that became a threat. And I was charged with that. Um, since then, I've gotten control of my anger, but I'm still very angry at my former for what she did. Um, our daughter was used as a tool, and that's wrong on every fucking level you can ever imagine. No child should ever be used as a tool. So my self-worth at that point, gone. I felt like, there was nothing left to live for. I felt like, okay, this woman cheated on me. Now she's taking my daughter from me. She's listening to a family who obviously hated me right from day one. Um, it just, the whole scenario just blew out of proportion very quickly. Now, her brother said that I was never a carpenter and that I couldn't build homes, and that I never worked for Epstein's, which I worked for Epstein's for many years. As a matter of fact, my boss was Jerry Roy and his son Terry Roy. Jerry Roy was the master carpenter. I worked under him. Um, but anyways, her brother just started talking about my past and throwing things in my face and posting on Facebook and trying to make himself out to be the hero, which he was a fucking scumbag loser. And everybody that knows me, who reviewed his comments, verified this guy needs to fucking have his. I'm not going to say what it was, but yeah. But in the end, what ended up happening is I started working for Triumph Professional Cleaning Services at night. We go in professional buildings and we strip and wax floors. We furbish rubber floors. And we did everything, everything. And when she called me up on Sunday, on that Sunday, September 10th, and said, Al, I don't love you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. She already had been seeing other people way before then. The legal firm that represents me, Legal Shield, I've already filed an active petition. And if you review some of the videos that I did quite some time ago, you'll see that I'm pursuing the matter against her. We've subpoenaed text messages, everything from Messenger, Facebook. There's some unfortunate videos that she and I would do. Those came to light. But the biggest issue is I have to notify Anthony Pontius, his wife, the man she cheated on me, and cheated against me with. And Legal Shield says that that's going to be necessary to establish a timeline of my former's actions. The bottom line is I petitioned many people in the event that this goes through the court system, which it will. I've already made sure that things are going to, well, I'll just say it the way it is. Shit's going to hit the fucking fan hard. And anybody who doubts my words, you can contact Legal Shield here in Bangor, Maine, and verify it. I give you permission. But self-worth, when you let someone else dictate your worth, whether it's because somebody cheated on you or somebody spread lies about you or somebody says you can't do something when you know you can, those things dig at you in ways that it's hard to even explain. Um, and I'm not trying to make this video about my ex. That's not what this is about. This is about trying to explain why I personally felt like my self worth was just shit, gone. My autonomy was destroyed. I didn't feel like I was my own person. I felt like I had to bow down and dictate myself to what everybody else expected me to do and be. That didn't work out too well. My former said that I would never be able to build a house. As you've seen with the videos, we're building $1 million contract house. When that's done in about a month and a half, guess who gets $1 million? The 6 workers, and we divide that $1 million. Wow, I guess I know what the fuck I'm doing. You saw my credentials on my former video where I worked on planes and actually got flight time, where she said that I had never did that. Well, you don't get those credentials for smoking cigarettes in a parking lot, sitting in a vehicle, filming trees. Um, just a lot of things. Um, a lot of things I want to say, but I don't want to make this video too fucking rambling. And again, sorry for my language, but when I get irritated, those words come out. It's just my way of just getting it off my chest. But self-worth, when you're working on a job site or when you're in a relationship, don't let anyone, including the one you're in love with, dictate your worth. If you know what your worth is, stand firmly behind it. Now, had I have put my foot down when my former started cheating on me, I'd have put my foot down and say, I'm either worth being with, or you need to tell me right now that you don't want me. Instead, she goes behind my back, and my self-worth felt like it was shit, gone out the window. That devastates a person. That's what I'm trying to get at. It fucking devastates a person. It makes them in here and in here feel like their life is done. Because everything they've ever done, everything they've ever learned, the very trades they have, evidently doesn't mean anything to anybody. And I felt like the only solution, and I'm going to say this, and YouTube will probably censor the word, but I need to say it. I felt like just fucking ending my life, because when you lose your self-worth, you pretty much lose everything you're thinking. You used to think, hey, I'm a decent person. I make my mistakes. I'm only human. I learn. I move on. But when you lose your self-worth, those things go out the fucking window really quick. And you start feeling like you're not worth living. I don't know how else to say it. Suicide was running through my brain because I just lost the one I love. I wasn't able to see my daughter. I wasn't able to go home. It just, everything came down all at once. But I'm a full-time contractor. I build homes for a living. I'm no longer working on planes. I'm no longer working at the night shift, trying pro clean, going to professional buildings and cleaning and doing all that. I'm now a contractor making big fucking money. And I think one of the biggest advantages of doing that is I now know, again, my worth. I make roughly between $125 to $175 an hour as a contractor, not counting taxes and everything else. We have to pay our own insurance, which is pretty steep. But anyways, I guess to wrap this video up, I just want to reemphasize the fact that if you know what you're worth, don't let anybody dictate anything else. If you're worth $125 to $175 an hour, don't accept anything less. If somebody says, I'll give you this contract, but it's $80 an hour, walk away. Say, no, you know what I'm worth. I know what I'm worth. If you cannot accept that, then that's not the job I need to be on. And that's the same way with a relationship. A relationship is not 50-50. I'm going to set that straight right here and right now. A relationship is not 50-50. A relationship is 100-100. Both have to put 100% into that relationship for it to work. Now, my error was I didn't do that. I take responsibility for that. I own my shit. I never told her as much as I should have, babe, I love you. I never told her, yes, you're right. I was wrong in the end. I was wrong. I never admitted that. Sometimes when she got out of work, I just wanted to go for a ride, almost all the time, because being home, babysitting with our daughter, it just got to me just constantly being home. She was the worker, I was a stay-at-home dad, and I just wanted to get out of the house a while and go for a ride, and that wore her down. So I own that shit too. That's on me. But cheating on a person, especially when you've been in a relationship for 5 years and you have a little girl together, that devastates you. So I just want to say this, and I hope nobody misunderstands this because it's not meant to judge anyone. But if you're in a relationship that the one you're with doesn't respect the fact of who you are, it doesn't expect, well, I should say, doesn't respect your worth, get the fuck out of that relationship because that's not the one you want to be with. You want somebody that's going to give you 100%, and you must also give them 100%. Because when you join yourself together, as a relationship is, now you got 100% in a relationship. You're both working towards building that and keeping that relationship. Don't let self worth be destroyed. And the babe I have now, hold on. The sweetheart I have now, our relationship is 100%, 100%. Everything we do, we pretty much do it together. We talk about it, we plan on it. If it's something that she doesn't want to do, that's fine. If it's something I don't want to do, that's fine. We come to a mutual agreement. We either agree to do it, or we agree not to do it, or we agree to disagree. I mean, she has autonomy. She has her own life. So sometimes she wants to go out with her friends and have a dinner. That's fine. Sometimes I go out with the workers that I work with, and we sit down and we shoot the shit, and we'll drink a cold beer or have a hot cup of coffee, or we'll sit down on the beach and just watch the water. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you stay faithful, as long as you keep that worth alive. One of the things that I found out about the babe that I'm with is that today, when I joked about her having pink rims on a truck, um, I went too far with that. It was meant as a joke, it was meant out of fun, but at the moment, that struck a nerve in her. And as a result, I got the cold shoulder. She went to the beach with a friend of hers, a female friend. Told me if I wanted to come too, that's fine, but they too wanted to be alone, so that's what happened. um, she'll be here. Well, it's 12:35 a.m. Friday morning. She'll be here in about 45 minutes. Hopefully, I'll make a video with her. We'll stand side by side, and hopefully, she'll start talking about self worth as well. Because when I made that comment, she felt like I was picking on her. She felt like I was judging a girly truck, which it wasn't. It's just a comment that came out, and it was meant as a joke for fun, but it went too far. And that caused some issues between us. And those are the issues that you have to work on in a relationship. You have to be cautious of the other person's feelings and emotions. Today, well, yesterday now, I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to make a funny comment and hopefully everybody laughs. Well, nobody laughed. I was the only one laughing. And I think her self worth got degraded a little bit because of my comment. I own that shit too. Anyways, this video is nearly 20 minutes long. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope I didn't bore the shit out of anybody. But these are very important issues that I think everybody should be thinking about. Not just me running my mouth on a fucking video on YouTube, but really seriously think about self worth. And also other people's worth. If you're in a relationship with somebody, let them know they're worthy. Let them know that what they do means something. Let them know that them being there means something. And if you love that person, tell them that. Don't hesitate like I did. Don't be scared to say, I love you, because because that's exactly what happened to me. I was afraid to say, I love you. And look what it did. Look what it did. I lost the woman that I loved. And in my heart somewhere, I don't know why, but in my heart somewhere, I still love her. I know it'll never happen again, but you don't just throw love away. And if you do, then you never loved that person to begin with. And that's a scary reality to self-worth. Thank you all for listening, and I hope I didn't bore you too much. I know this video started to ramble a little bit, but these are key factors that I wanted to touch bases on, because when you look at the end of the day at what has been accomplished versus what hasn't been accomplished at the end of that day, I think you'll find a lot more things that you wanted to do and a lot more things you wanted to say that never got done or never got spoken. Again, if you're with somebody and you love that person, say it. Just walk right up and say, hey, I love you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for accepting me for who I am despite my downfalls. I'm only human. You're only human. We're all only human. We're all going to make mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes cost a little. Sometimes it costs a lot. And unfortunately, sometimes it costs you everything. Thanks for listening, folks.